Coops here. Subscribe to Blades Ramble. Keep following, and all the best.
The Puhausery.
Puhausery catches me off guard. That's twice it's done that already. What is happening, Blades? And welcome back to the Blades Ramble. This is Behind the Ramble. And I say that because it's a Patreon special. And this will be the case going forward. Hot Topic will be staying on a fortnightly basis. We were discussing this earlier today, but there will be weekly content. We say on Patreon, we mean on any sort of established paid tier that you've got with the Ramble, £5 and above. So this will be staying as is on a fortnightly basis because we've got something else planned in the works for this. But as part of this, we were talking about last time whether we play this out on the main channel after the fact as well. So everybody gets the benefit of having this live and obviously interactive, which is the main part of it. And then we may well play it out later in the week if people are comfortable with that, because I appreciate it's some people's first time on screen. It's nice to see some unfamiliar faces waiting to join us. So thank you to everybody. I am going to be on a lot this week, and I've talked about it already. We'll just quickly whiz through it because there's plenty to get through this week. Out now is the 3 Mardy Blades. If you didn't see that last night, really enjoyed talking to the boys, as I always do. Went for a long time. Don't worry, we won't be doing that for every show this week, but there were a lot of people in the comments. The excitement is palpable, isn't it? So really good chat with the boys yesterday. More of that to come. Then tomorrow, 7 o'clock, the Championship Playoff Final Special. It's the countdown to kick off. Again, I don't want to go too long with that, but if we need to, we need to, because people are wanting to talk about these things, aren't they? So this is where we officially get the juices flowing. We're off and running already, but here we go. This is it. So now I've got this next one penciled in for Thursday at 9:30. It could be Friday. So obviously just keep those notifications on, as I know you all do anyway, but we don't know whether it's going to be Thursday or Friday at the moment. I need to put in place some plans for getting the timescales of the press conferences. If they're not going to give me a pass to go and speak to him direct, then the least they can let us know is when he's going to be going live, can't they? So we can jump on straight afterwards. Then the first ever live view from the mountain. The main boy will be here. Well, obviously it's the last game of the season, so don't be expecting one of these super regularly, but he will be here on Thursday at 7 o'clock. And then the first ever 90 before 90. This is a special. It's not something that we're introducing as a regular fixture, but this will be Friday at 7 o'clock. Playoff day eve. Oh, my word. It's getting very real, isn't it now? So you are going to see plenty of me on screen. And the reason I've sort of gone through that very quickly is because I don't want people to get sick of me. So what I've done tonight is I've appointed a co-host. So please welcome. You know him very well. It's the man on the mic, Jordan Motson. Played the wrong thing, didn't I? Played the wrong thing. Where's his thing? Where's his intro? Oh, my word. Let's just do it a cappella. George Matson, the man on the mic. How's it going, George? You okay? Where's your
Every time. Every time.
Man Mountain's deleted it. He must have been getting a little bit gel.
Well, Man Mountain and Dave the Nose don't get this this sort of stuff, do they? Do you know what I mean?
They've got their intros lined up here, I must say. But this is behind. Oh, do you know what it is? I bet yours is here. Wait. Out he goes. Let's bring him back.
Jordan Motson, the man on the mic, painting the match with a sound so right. Sheffield's pride, every fan can see. He's the voice of the Blades, their melody.
Now I have to jump over to the next profile. Angfire. He's coming. Hey up, mate. We'll get that sorted out for next time. Professional as ever. I don't know if we'll play this out now on Behind the Ramble. We'll have to wait and see. How's it going, mate? Thank you for jumping on and agreeing to co-host with me tonight. I'm trying not listen. Just smack me down when I start talking too much because you know I ramble. But I need to wind it in a little bit because I'm going to be on a lot this week. So I want you to take the mantle for the majority, and I will be dipping in because I can't help myself. But you are going to be in charge. So let's bring on
the referee.
Yes, you're the ref, mate. You can do that. Well, let's say that. Let's say that. So we have got some faces, new and I'm going to say old, but we'll say familiar, unfamiliar. Let's go with that. So let's bring in the familiar faces first and foremost. Let's see. Who shall we start with? Who shall we start with? I don't believe it. It's Mark Meldrew. I tell you what, we are going to be busy tonight. There's a fair few of us on, which is good for those that haven't appeared much. Mark, how's it going, pal?
Good evening, chaps. How are we?
All right, thank you, mate. Is it up the positive Meldrew tonight?
Semi-positive.
All right, we're starting to wobble already. That's all right. That's good. That's what I like to hear. Very good, mate. Back to normal order is restored. Appreciate that. Next up, it is the Cornish Blade. It's Dave Morwood. How's it going, Dave?
Hiya, lads. All right.
Oh, mate. All the better for seeing you, pal.
Right,
all
Dave.
the better for seeing you.
I do, mate.
Well, I will be after this game so I can get this off my chin.
So what's the story behind the beard? Are you not shaving till Sheffield United get promoted? Is that the new bet that we're having?
No, I've done Alan Cork. You know,
An Alan Cork?
Yeah.
Nice.
I've done the Alan Cork thing. You know, after we get knocked out or when we get promoted.
Yeah.
You know, half an hour after the final whistle, I'll be in the bathroom with the razor.
Love that. Love that. Right, Dave, we'll have to explain to this next one who Alan Cork is. Welcome him back. Jamie Dumpling. Jamie!
Jamie!
Get Jamie with fresh trim.
I know.
Go on, Jamie, lad.
Smart, mate. Is it that time of, is it that quarter where you're getting a trim?
It's summertime is what it is.
All right, okay.
I've got more hair on my chin, Jamie.
Jamie, do you know who Alan Cork is?
Not a clue.
Oh, my.
That's terrible.
Right, let's get another adult in then. He is the host of Just United. You know him very well. It's Just Ricky. How's it going, pal?
Yeah,
Nerve check, Rick. How are we doing?
I'm all right, me, mate.
All right. You
Yeah.
sure?
I am.
Sure. Jamie, how's the nerves, mate?
Not great since I listened to Radio Sheffield about 20 minutes ago.
Why? What are they saying now? What are they saying? Are they doom mongering?
On ex-head of Premier League refereeing, who said that Chris Kavanagh is a terrible choice for the final.
Who said that?
Keith Hackett, who
Keith
used to
Hackett,
run
well,
referees.
Do you know what we need, don't you? Here comes the man in black. It's Gaz Dunn. Welcome.
Go on, Gaz.
Ramble.
Go on, Gaz.
Sound that
Go on,
perfect,
Gaz.
don't you? Sound that
Gaz, you all
perfect.
right? All I can see is a floating head. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, some reason still working. Well, I suppose you are working, Jimmy. Actually, aren't you?
Oh, mate, it's hard graft, this, mate. Absolutely.
It's hard
Slave labour, this. I can't. How are you, mate? Welcome back.
Yeah, I'm good. Still working. Luckily, flying back Friday. Luckily,
Yes, mate.
I got very lucky with that. But yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, I'll say this: don't listen too much to what Keith says, and I'll leave that one as that one.
I think it's very nice of the army to rework the schedule just so that you can come back to for Wembley. Very accommodating, isn't it?
I got a bit lucky, to be honest with you. I wasn't supposed to fly back till Monday.
Right, we're going to welcome some new faces now. I think it says here that somebody's trying to enter the studio, but we're full. We're full. We can't. You can only have a maximum of 10 people. So apologies to whoever's trying to get in. It's first come, first served tonight. So we're going to welcome in our first. It's not really the first time some of us will have seen him on stream, because if you're in the group that he's in, you may have heard the vocal cords before. Welcoming in Brett. How's it going, pal?
I'm all right, mate. Positive.
Love that. I tell you what, there's two great things I want to talk to you about there. That top looks absolutely beaut. I must say,
but a shove lurch.
I wasn't. Yeah, no. I wasn't sure when Man Mountain put that one out. To be fair, but looking at it on you, it looks really well. And the background, unreal. Man. Unreal.
Yeah, room's a mess. That's all.
All right, it looks well. Looks really well. Welcoming in another new Rambler. It's not a new Rambler, but new to the stream. Dave Vinter, how's it going, pal?
Good evening. I thought I'd come on here because I'd keep missing you triple points, so I thought I'd make an appearance.
That's one way to see us, isn't it, pal? One way to see us. Our German contingent, David Vinter. How are you?
Always good.
Nice one, Dave. Thank you for joining us, pal. Jord, it's going to be a busy one for you tonight, this. And also, last but not least, waiting very patiently behind the scenes, it is the man who asked Ollie Arblaster to take a picture of him in Man Mountain. What an absolutely 10 out of 10 move. Sonny, how's it going, pal?
I'm all right, but how are you?
Oh, mate, I'm class. I'm really good. Do you know what? I'm going to actually have to, and I don't do this often, I apologise to the sponsors, but I'm going to have to knock off that because I can't have Ricky sat with a QR code over his face, can I?
It's all right.
No. So we'll go. Right then, Jod, what you got planned for us tonight, pal?
No.
Mate.
No, I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding.
Oh,
first off, how's everyone feeling? Is everyone excited? Are we nervous? Do we think we're going to do it? So let's go around. Start with Mark.
No pressure. I'm somewhere in the middle. I keep thinking these like positive thoughts, and then I just think of something negative, and it just brings me back down to earth. It's a bit early in the week, yeah. I think maybe Thursday, Friday. That's when it'll sort of really ramp up. But it's so difficult, isn't it? It means so much to win it at this point, and it'll hurt more than out if we lose it.
I was saying last night, again, George, you're going to have to keep jumping in and stopping me because I can't help myself. But I was saying last night on Three Mighty Blades, it starts off like excitement is peak at moment, isn't it? And then as the days go by, dread's down here, and it just sort of tips day by day. It's a little bit like dread takes over the excitement, doesn't it? And you're just like, oh no. The one thing we've got to look forward to is a cracking day out, whatever happens. So we've just got to focus on enjoying the day as much as we can and just hoping that the result follows. But sorry, George, back to you, pal.
All right. What's your thoughts, Jamie?
To be fair, you've probably seen me on about it in the group chats, but I think I'm actually more nervous for the coach down with the people I'm going with.
Right. So Jamie's on, for those that are watching, Jamie's on the Ramble coach on the way down. He has got 6 mates coming with him. Congratulations, first and foremost, Jamie. But why are you so nervous about your mates being in and around and involved in the Ramble? I know they don't know about how heavily involved you are with the channel, and they don't, from what I understand, they don't know about the Jamie Dumpling nickname, which you're not looking forward to them finding out.
They know about it, they just don't understand it.
Okay. So why the dread about your mates coming and getting involved? Because I think there's a little bit of closet they would love to have a go at, not necessarily with us, but anything like this. I think it's great that you put yourself out there and give your opinions. So go on, mate. What you're not sure about?
No, I will just have Mick taken at me. Let's not beat around the bush. That is just simply what's going to happen. I will end up just not hearing the end of it by the end of the night. I had someone go, I can't remember where, but status, you're going on tonight, Jamie, as if it's like night after night, and they were like, who's that? I'm like, I don't know.
See, that's good though. That's a little bit of kudos for you, I think, in terms of people coming up to you that you don't know and saying like what you do online and stuff like that, whether it's been on Ramble or on Ricky's channel or whatever it is. People have seen you giving your opinion, and I think that's fair play to you, mate. Fair play.
Jamie, it could be worse. I've had somebody go up to my dad asking, where's your Victor? So it's not great, is it?
Yeah. I think my boss found out today, so that's going to be an interesting one.
Ricky, your thoughts, pal?
I'm happy, mate. I'm excited. Can't beat Ramblers. We're playing a team what's won 1 in 8 games. Do you know what I mean? Out of all teams, it's probably the least formed team. Then you can all pull your faces, mate. They've won 1 game in 8 games.
Nobody's pulling a face at you, Rick. Nobody's pulling a face.
One game. Like I said, 2 draws, 5 losses. Well, that ain't no form, and they can say all the rest of players, but a lot of them games they've played full strength teams, so I'm not bothered, mate.
We've got Lee, Statman Lee. He's a Statman, has done a video for us that I'm currently editing, and it might take me a while, so I do apologise. But he has done a breakdown similar to what Ricky's saying there on Sunderland's few games leading into this game at Wembley, and it's not impressive in terms of the form, the way they're playing. It is more, like Ricky says, it's not always been full strength, full tilt all the time, but they have been playing a lot of their good players. So they're not in great form. I'm more of the opinion that anybody can turn up for a worldie, and it's a game that they all need to turn up for. So I think the team will be preparing for the best Sunderland. To completely dismiss them is a little bit like of a frightening proposition for me. But
no, I'm not dismissing it. I'm not ignorant what they can propose. Do you know what I mean? Maeda and Isidore on breaker two at deadliest strikers in league, but you can't be blind to the fact that they're a poor form team at the moment.
Yeah.
Did anyone watch that semi-final and think, "Whoa, they're going to cause us problems"?
No.
Well, we were doing. Me and Jim were doing watch along, and I'm confident. We turn up and we do the business. Them 2 games that we've played against Bristol City are 2 of the best games we've played probably, I'd say, this season, and in a playoff semi-final as well. So how can we not be confident going into this final?
I agree. I think what I want to know from Gaz, because I appreciate, George, I think you're going round, aren't you, in sort of clockwise. Love that. But Gaz, I don't want to put you in a difficult position, mate. I think people know that you have got ties to the refereeing community. It's probably best to say. Jamie, I haven't had a chance to listen to Radio Sheffield because I've been ferrying my girls about tonight. They've gone to Brownies. But if there's been criticism online of the appointment of Chris Kavanagh, I know you were backing him in our chat, which is great to see. What would give people more confidence about Cav being the referee for the game on Saturday?
You don't get appointed to a game like that unless you're doing well. I suppose everything's on merit tables and everything like that. He's done well, obviously, over the season, and that's why he's got that fixture. I think people are nervous because of VAR and things like that. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone's human. I think it didn't matter, let's be honest, if it was Chris Kavanagh, Anthony Taylor, or anyone. Let's be honest. Everyone's going to complain and have their own opinion on a referee. Every referee always makes a mistake, just the same as every person on the park at the weekend makes a mistake. Ronaldo, C9, makes a mistake. I always say that to players all the time. It's like, freaking hell, that's a crap decision, referee. And then, well, that freaking diag that you just did was crap as well. You know what I mean? It's that sort of way in refereeing. Is you go out there and you try and do your best on the field of play every single time. And you know what I've always said. I've always gone on the motto of they wouldn't be there if they weren't at the best of their ability to achieve and deliver that game.
I think everyone sort of remembers with him is that what happened at Man City game, weren't it?
With Aguero, yeah.
Yeah, you know, and people, it's easy to forget the good decisions that they make, but as soon as they make a bad decision, we all pick up on that, don't we, and remember it. And they've probably done more better decisions than they have bad decisions.
A referee makes hundreds of decisions every game. Hundreds. Literally, it's probably into the low thousands. You make so many decisions on that field of play in them 90 minutes, but people only remember you for them ones that you make mistakes of. They don't remember the great decisions. It's very rare you see a commentator go, "What a great decision by a referee," and everything like that.
I think it's an absolutely thankless job, to be honest. I know we all give them stick at times when it don't go our team's way. But you couldn't. I mean, they're very well paid at the top level. They're not that well paid a little bit further down, if we're honest. But I still think to put yourself under that sort of knowingly put yourself under that sort of scrutiny. That's why we always try and steer away from slating refs. It's not just. I know we joke that it's because we've got Gazink Group, but it must be a tough gig to take anyway. I mean, it's hard enough. Anybody in the spotlight is there to be shot at, and you know that when even when you put your face out there on streams and stuff like that, people may criticize you. But Chris Kavanagh's going out in front of 80,000 people and going to make decisions that will alter the future of two big football clubs. It's huge pressure, and he's well trained, and I'm sure he's well prepared for it. And if he makes a mistake, then a lot of fans will be all over him because that's the nature of the beast. And he's a big enough boy to understand that. But it is harsh. It is harsh. And again, that's why we try and sort of take a step back sometimes and sort of ease off, with referees because it's a tough and it. You know, we have the privilege of having this perspective from Gaz, so I appreciate you saying that, pal.
No,
Can I just jump in? I think the problem with Chris Kavanagh is the fact he's done it numerous times. I get that he's like one of the better referees because he's obviously at the top flight and he knows like VAR and everything, but he misses key incidents that are usually the bare basics. Like when the Man City game, I know that's going back quite a bit, but like that was one of the blatantly obvious ones, and it's quite hard to miss that one. You see referees that are Michael Oliver, for example. He's meant to be one of the best ones, and yet he misses a blatant handball where you can see the arm moves when the ball's hit. So it's the fact it's the big decisions that they're missing. Yes, they get a lot of the smaller ones right, but the big decisions they seem to completely screw up. And Chris Kavanagh especially, he gave out 13 bookings in one match and 200 bookings over a single season. That's a hell of a lot. And a game like a playoff final, which is going to be, to say the least, heated. Like people will be flying in, just trying to do everything to get that last ball.
Yeah,
he's going to be one of them that's giving him out for like every single kind of thing, especially with him coming down from the Prem, and a lot of Prem teams. The game they're used to is like every single like kind of tackle. Usually that's going towards the booking, not
Jamie. That's fair, mate. That's fair. And this is, you know, nobody's saying you're wrong in what you're saying by having concerns. I think Gaz has given us the other side of the argument, which we always like to give anyway. But if you're concerned about the ref, that's fine. The only thing I would say to that is, whenever we're watching a game, me and Jord, it's been highlighted to me more through this, and we have to keep things moving on this stream, obviously. And so we won't spend too long on it because I appreciate some lads haven't even had a chance to speak yet. But when we're doing watch-alongs, me and Jord, we'll sometimes see something, and Jord might say that's a foul, or or I might say that's a booking, and then you see the replay, and it isn't. It's gone wrong. Do you know what I mean? We've got the wrong end of the stick with that or whatever. We've got the benefit of the replay to say, oh, actually, you know, you're right. Sometimes, particularly below Premier League, refs haven't got that luxury. And if they have got that luxury of VAR, then it's the team decision, isn't it? It's not the individual ref. It's like if a VAR call goes wrong, then that's just as much Stockley Park as it is the referee on the field. So I don't think we can get too caught up on individual refs. I'm not saying, you know, if they have a poor game, they're not open to criticism, because they definitely are. But what I would say to you, Jay, is please don't worry too much about the individual appointment, because like Gaz says to a degree, he's been appointed for a reason, hasn't he? So it's...
Right. To be honest, at the same time, even if referee is having a poor game, let's say, it's still down to us to do our job. We can't be pointing fingers. If we're playing crap and Sunderland beat us, then we've got to turn around and say, better teams won at the end of the day. We can't blame referee because he's made some poor decisions. It's still down to us to do his job in it.
Yeah, agreed. Brett, what's your thoughts on ahead of the game on Saturday, mate? How are you feeling, pal? Are you ready? Have you got your vocal cords ready?
I ain't singing, don't worry. I think the only thing that worries me is the fact that I'm positive. The last time I was positive was triple assault season, and that was a long trip back from Cardiff.
Yeah,
very long.
I think it took us, sure, if I remember, about 7 hours it took us to get back. And after you've just been battered 3-0, that's the last thing you want, travelling back 7 hours to Sheffield.
I think we went back on train, and biggest cheer we had all day where you are now leaving Wales.
Dave Vinter, is it a dangerous thing to... I'm sorry, I'm full naming you because we've got two Daves on the stream now. So I know Dave Morwood, you messaged me to say you had a power cut, didn't you, mate? It weren't Jord that put you off or anything like that, so I appreciate that.
No, second one today, mate. It might go again, so if I disappear...
No worries. Dave V, is it a dangerous mindset to be in, being confident? I think the majority of us are confident at the moment. It does leave you vulnerable to flashbacks, like Brett says, of the triple assault season. Or should we just be enjoying it and allow yourselves to be vulnerable for a little bit? And then if it does happen, then that euphoria is that level higher, isn't it, I think?
To be quite honest, I've seen that much online saying we're going to win easy. That makes me nervous. We're not going to win easy, no matter what happens. I'm not nervous at the minute. I will be when it gets close to Wembley. Quietly confident. The only thing what's nagging me in the back of my mind is I've been to every single playoff, never seen them win. Dark side in semi-final, lost again. All in semi-final, lost again. That's the only nagging feeling I've got. I think we're better than Sunderland. We should beat them. The problem is, like I said, it's this nagging doubt at the back of my mind. But I'm quietly confident that we're going to do it when we get down there. So hopefully, if we turn up, we win. Simple as that.
I agree.
And I'd play the same side as what played second leg at Bristol, against Bristol. I'd play Brooks in me. I thought he was excellent.
I did. I don't think he will, but I thought Brooks were excellent as well. I agree. I don't disagree with anything you said, because I think there is a danger of us bordering on too confident. I don't think we're arrogant. None of us as a fan base are arrogant, but or very few of us. There will be some in every fan base, but the confidence is flowing. It's clear to see, but you don't ever want to look past anything, do you? And you've got to be laser focused on the task ahead. I'm with you on the finals and the semis that we've gone through previously. The 100-year thing is hanging over us in terms of it's bang on 100 years. A lot of things appear as though they might be written in our favour, but again, it's a one-off game, and anything
it's
can happen.
Different group of players, so they shouldn't have that hanging over them. They should go into it confident. And
that's what Wilder's framed it as, isn't it? That he's sort of said, look, I know it's the history of the club, but it's not the history of this team, and it's not the history of me as a manager. I don't know if he's had more than one playoff campaign. You might be able to tell me right or wrong, but obviously we know he's won the playoffs with Oxford. So he's every reason to be confident that he can do this. Sonny, how are you feeling, pal? Welcome to the Ramble. Finally making his appearance after a couple of false dawns. How are you feeling, pal?
I'm feeling pretty optimistic until Chris Kavanagh got brought up. I feel like he's going to ruin my day now. But
that's Jamie Dumpling for you.
No, after watching second leg of Cov, I don't think we've got anything to worry about, if I'm honest. I'm not trying to be too confident or whatever, but I thought Cov were a better side, and Sunderland's got through on a bit of a little technicality, in my opinion. But I feel man for man, player for player, we should absolutely batter them.
I agree in terms of they look very nervous on the night, which is understandable. And we weren't nervous because of the circumstances that we're in. It might have been different if we'd have got a draw at Ashton Gate and then we have to beat them at Bramall Lane. We might have been a little bit more edgy. It might have been a much closer game, the second leg, than it actually turned out to be. But the way everything worked out for us in that semi-final made it fall in our favour, I think. And we ended up obviously very comfortable in the end. With Sunderland, they were nervous, and it was euphoria for them when they sort of got that last-minute winner. It makes you wonder if they'll be spent, really. Whether that's obviously they've got plenty of time physically to recover, but it's a huge mental burden to carry in terms of stress and pressure. Will it positively affect them? Will it negatively affect them going into Wembley? These are all sort of intangibles that you can't measure, isn't it? So I love how Gaz has gone like super camouflage now from Army. So I don't know, how incognito he needs to be for these sort of streams.
Yeah,
Go on, Jamie, sorry, mate. What were you saying?
He's putting the private chat that it's his work phone going off.
All right, no worries. No, that's fine.
Might be SAS.
It could be, yeah. Could be. Who dares and all that. Davey Morwood, how are you, pal? How are you feeling? How's the nerves heading into Saturday?
What nerves?
Oh, look at this.
Still
Look at this. Mr. Confident.
Yeah, I just think if we turn up, like people have said, if the real Sheffield United turn up, I'm confident.
That's the if, though, isn't it? That's the if.
That's
because
the
I'm
problem.
confident. I agree with what Dave was saying earlier. I'm confident if the best Sheffield United turn up.
Yeah.
It's whether they will turn up or not, because we've seen it time and time again. Brett was saying triple assault season. We were brilliant that season. Absolutely brilliant. I appreciate it. Jamie, were you? Yeah, you were born, weren't you?
What year are we talking?
2003.
Oh, no, I weren't.
Oh my word!
He couldn't have sat on cop anyway, could he?
No, he couldn't. No, get him off that cop. Get him off that crying baby. Yeah,
it was.
we were incredible, and it was just one game too far. I don't think we're in that sort of same position where we've absolutely gone and gassed ourselves out at the end of this. I think Wilder's managed it really well, and I think we're in best possible. The one thing I would say is there's no excuses for United. No excuses for us going into Wembley. I think if they beat us, they will deserve to go up. And yeah, it's a big one. Sorry, George, you were supposed to stop me and cut me off, but
I'll leave me to it.
Weren't that triple assault one? Weren't that the final that Uncle Colin told Dean Windass he weren't playing, and they had that
yes,
big
it was.
up?
Yes, it was. It was.
Yeah.
That'll mean nothing to JB. Basically, Dean Windass had been playing for us for really well for a lot of the season. And it's still, some people may know this story better than me, but he got dropped for the final after a bust up with Warnock. Don't know what it were about, but yeah, and we lost the game 3-0 basically.
In about 20 minutes
in the second half as well. So after we were so much better than them across the season, a little bit like we have been Sunderland. So no pressure, lads, no pressure.
No pressure.
I know.
So moving on forward. Which players do we fear in Sunderland's team, and why?
All of them.
Would you pick the main threats then?
I'll start.
Jack Robinson, sorry.
Yeah. No.
He's been great last two games, and I think that long throw will be a really great weapon against Sunderland.
Yeah,
I did think that, and I'm happy with it. But then watching Dan Ballard the other day, we're heading everything away. Corners.
Well, they were obviously worried about Coventry's long throw, though, weren't they?
Yeah.
So it may be a vulnerability in themselves.
What difference is when
elbow.
When Dan Ballard were heading them away, he didn't have Kiefer Moore contested him. That's
true. That's true, and that's what we talked about on 3MB last night about him cancelling it out. Go on, Marco. You were going to say something, pal.
I think if Mundo plays for them on left, I think Lefay's the one to watch because he'll play more central.
Sirkin will start. He wouldn't be dropped. He's their
Sirkin's
best.
left back though, isn't he? And Mundo's left wing. That's what Mark's on about, I think, pal.
Yeah.
Oh right, okay.
So Sirkin's
I think
really
Sousa and Peckle will be able to handle him in middle.
Yeah. If you put Sousa on Lefay, I think he does a job on him. To be honest, because when he does a marking job this season, he's been outstanding for me. It obviously takes him out of the game a little bit as well, but it takes the main threat of theirs out. So I think when Sousa's on it, which he tends to be in big games, I think we'll be laughing personally.
Can I just ask
you?
Go on, Matt.
So I was just going to say before we sort of mention obviously about them, how do we feel that they're going to feel about us? As a fan base. I know we're talking about them, but how do we feel their fans are going to think about us as a team? Are they going to look and think, oh my God, they've wiped floor with them last two games, or they're coming to a bit of form? Look at their players off at bench.
This is what we try and frame as well, and I'll be talking about it a little bit more tomorrow probably, in terms of we always, as the team that are trying to win, we always think about our own vulnerabilities and where the opposition can get at us. We never really give enough credit to how we can hurt the opposition, because obviously that's what we're just relying on and hoping for rather than worrying about. Sunderland will look at Sheffield United and think they've finished, 14 points above them or something like that. They have steamrolled Bristol City through these playoffs, not missed a beat. I appreciate there were a big incident which changed the whole swing of the game, but we had to go for the kill and we did that. And then we've just brushed them aside at Bramall Lane. We are going in with heaps of confidence. We're bringing off players like Callum O'Hare off the bench, who changes the game. We are in really, really good shape. And yeah, there will be fear in us, Mark, to answer your question. That's my opinion anyway. And they should, not necessarily fearing us, but certainly respecting us. So while we're having this conversation as a Sheffield United group saying we need to be a little bit concerned about Mundo, Lefay, Dan Ballard played really well through playoffs, and all true. But they'll be saying, Kusema, Tyrese Campbell, Vinny Sousa, we've got to get ball past Michael Cooper. They will be thinking exactly the same, maybe even more so than us.
Can I just say, I've been watching a bit of Sunderland streaming, and they're really confident against us. They said he battered us at our place, and to be fair, they were better side at our place.
I thought so.
And I think they were better side because they pressed us high. If they play like they did against Coventry and sit back, I think we'll absolutely tear them apart. So it works both ways, doesn't it?
I think the 4-4-2. I mean, it was specific for Bristol City the way we played, weren't it? And Wilder talked about that, but that was to cut out the press as well. So if they do come and press us like they did do previously, we've got a plan for that now. We didn't have that before. We're also a lot stronger in terms of certainly the players we can bring on. I think we've had a light bench when we were playing those Sunderland games as well. So, and they are game changers as well at times. So I'm as confident as I can be personally, and that will get worse. I'm a little bit same as some others have said. The closer it gets to game time, the more nervous I'll get. But I'm as confident as I can be being a Blade.
I think what's helping at the minute is obviously we don't know his best team, and Wilder doesn't. They definitely won't. If we don't even know our best team, they're not going to know. They won't know, one, what lineup we're going to play, 2, the formation, 3, the style we're going to settle with. So they can't predict us at the minute. You can go, yeah, we're likely to play 4-4-2 more and go for try and go for the kill. But for all we know, we could go 4-2-3-1, hit them on break and have O'Hare in there instead of more. So it's probably just a good thing because then we're not being able to be found potentially tactically out there. Where Sunderland, you can pretty confidently go, yeah, they'll play 4-4-2, Isidore and is it Mayenda who's the striker?
Yeah.
Mayenda up front. And even if you break their last lineup down, you can perfectly match us up. And I think the only play that I'd say they have an advantage over is if I go 1-for-1, is their centre halves their attackers against our centre halves, because the rest of the pitch, I back our players to beat theirs. To be honest, I think
that's our best strength.
If you say
the fact that we ain't got no injuries,
exactly,
so we've
and
got
you've got players,
bench, we can change it all over.
Yeah, you've got Davis, O'Hare, all them coming off, Cannon even for legs. And you can go, right, Heyman's going to be against Trey Hume. I back Heyman. You got Campbell against probably 09 if Moore's having Ballard and they're cancelling each other out. I'm having Campbell. And even their goalkeeper, Patterson, he's had a pretty poor year for his standards. Sirkin against, who will it be? Brooks. I back Brooks.
I'd give you Brewster, personally. I think that's the only position we can't really call. And I think most will lean towards Brewster, but I know you talked about it, Jamie, that we can't maybe call our best team. I think we're getting very close to being able to. And I'm not saying it's the best team, but in terms of the form team that we've got going.
Wilder's best team.
Yeah, Wilder's best team. That's probably the best way to put it, Brett.
Even Brewster off the bench, he may go centre mid at some point. I
think you can call the team, and I may be wrong because Wilder surprised us all season. Obviously, Cooper in goal. It'll be Chowdhury, Anel, Robinson, and Burrows. It'll be Sousa and Peck. I think it'll be Brewster on the right, Hamer on the left, and I think it'll be Campbell and Moore up top. That's how I think it'll be. And then I think Callum O'Hare will come on as a finisher, like Man Mountain likes to say. Not a super sub or anything like that. I think he'll come on as a finisher to try and just, disrupt them, no matter what the score is going in. I've just had an update from Lee Edridge, who's let me know the Windass story for those that didn't know the context. Regarding Windass, the team stayed at Celtic Manor and had a round of golf. So this is before the Triple Assault playoff final, if you like. Windass's group were in front of Warnock's group, and he took a poo in the hole on the green. It was only found when one of the staff in Warnock's group went to get their ball out of the hole. So he got dropped for the playoff final for defecating in one of the golf holes on the green.
That is Poohousery.
Poohousery. Nice, Dave. Nice. And that's being Windass, probably.
Just quickly going back to players off the bench like O'Hare, sorry.
It's all right.
If you're a player like Gluco 9, you see Callum O'Hare coming off the bench, you're going to think, Jesus Christ, another 30 minutes of this potentially. With him going absolutely hell for bent on pace, you're going to be absolutely gutted thinking, oh God, not him, after I've already had to put with Tyrese Campbell, who's one of the quickest players in the league.
That's exactly the point, though, isn't it? That's exactly the point of it being a mental game changer in terms of, oh my God,
And
I do not want this man running at me.
Thing that's guaranteed to happen in that game is Anine will get booked. So if he's already been booked, and then let's say Ty Campbell comes off and we bring Callaway on, stick him straight on him because he's going to knock ball past him. He's probably going to bring him down, and then he could get sent off.
Yeah.
So it could work. That could easily work in our favour for me.
Have a look
They
all
rate
the
him,
way
don't
around.
they?
Though.
No,
Can you
they
imagine
rate
that
him.
Meander running at Robinson?
I know.
That's what worries me.
Yeah.
It'll still be an
You'll get me in
entertaining
trouble.
game.
You'll get me in trouble again. I'm trying to steer away from that subject.
Didn't
if I
happen
can.
in last game at Stadium Light.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
I think Anel got
There were
done.
nobody
We were
near
best
him.
side up there, though.
Yeah,
Do you
we
know,
were. Two
I
mistakes.
have to say as well, regarding, obviously, we've talked about Robinson being run at. I don't think Anel's looked confident in these situations as well with high pressing forwards that look to stay on his shoulder and spin him. I think he looks a little bit shaky at times. So I think that is probably a vulnerability. And I'm not saying
That is where we need Holding, though.
Well, mate, you're preaching to
Well,
converted there.
Let's move on to that then. Uia thinks Jack Robinson should start.
I am
He's
out.
gonna
for this
do
question.
well.
I am
He's
out.
gonna
He
do
is.
well. He'll not play out.
I want your opinion. I know he's probably going to start, but Uia wants him to start, and Uia would prefer Holding.
Sonny,
It's Holding all day long.
Oh, that's an odd one, that, because I as probably the majority of people know, I'm not a massive fan of Robinson, but the last two games, what's he done wrong?
Yeah.
And that's the only thing I've got to be fair, and I've got to be consistent with. Don't get me wrong, if Rob Holding would have started since the last Bristol game in league, when it was 1-1 and he had a run of games, I'd say 100%, because I feel Anel also improves with a better centre back next to him. I don't think he's improved when Robinson's next to him, and that's one of the biggest miss when we had Suter, because he brought the best out of Anel. So I don't think Robinson does bring that, but truthfully, I wouldn't want him there, but we've got to. So I'll probably
The thing
leave it
is,
at
do you
that.
think he's match fit enough for 90 minutes?
he should be.
Robinson.
No,
Should.
Holding.
Oh,
Holding.
Holding. Sorry.
He's getting around.
Yeah,
He should
It
be
looked
now.
really.
probably not.
Like last time we've seen him, he's looked a bit tired towards end, but don't
He's
get me wrong, he's
definitely got
been
80
brilliant.
minutes in him. If not, he's definitely got 80 minutes in him for sure.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah,
train
I-
as much as you want. It's not same as playing, is it?
No, that's true.
No.
That's
Yeah.
true. There's match fit is a different kind of fitness, isn't it? Which is why they sort of slowly reintegrate players after injury further up pitch and stuff like that. But I was trying to avoid this. Thanks, Jord, because I was trying to avoid this subject because I'm trying to train my brain into thinking I'm all right with Jack Robinson starting. And I were almost there. I were almost there until Sonny sort of very rightly puts it that we could have a better player playing. But Marco, I know you had your hand up for saying it's got to be Robbo, and if it were you picking, you would pick Robbo. Go for it, mate.
Well, like Sonny said, you can't really drop him, not after the last two games.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And I will say this as well, something I was thinking about, and I've thought this quite a lot with a couple of pals of mine. I think we're just like David Vintage just talked about there with Meander with pace. I think you put Holding in, and I don't think it makes much. If he runs past Rob Holding, he's getting past him. Whether you play Jack Robinson or Rob Holding, I don't think it's not making a blind bit of difference. If he puts them afterburners on, he's off. Simple as that.
I think Rob Holding's. I'm not saying Jack Robinson isn't, so I don't want this to be taken out of context. But I think Rob Holding is an intelligent footballer where he uses the space around him rather than relying on his. He knows he hasn't got the pace, but I think he's clever enough and positionally aware enough, which we've seen in games. Don't ditch me just because I'm disagreeing. Your screen went black. Did you have a phone call come through? He's still otherwise engaged.
He's in a different world.
I know. Are you back with us, Mark?
Got my old man trying to ring me.
Oh, he's not clear. Oh, we're going to say he's not watching, but of course he's behind closed doors, aren't we? So I think, and I can't put much credence to that really, but it's just it's my opinion that Rob Holding wouldn't be as vulnerable against somebody as quick. But it don't mean in a foot race he don't lose exactly the same, because he would. I just think I'd like to think he offsets himself a little bit better, but that's because I'm anti-Jack Robinson and trying to be a little bit less anti-Jack Robinson. So, and
you could say as well, like when we played Coventry, Jack Robinson did really well with Adji Wright. Adji Wright's got pace. Do you know what I mean?
Adji Wright, yes, and again, everything I said, I don't mean to just to counter Jack Robinson, but I think Adji Wright's been poor recently. I have to say, I think he's been really poor. Also, Isidore's off form, isn't he? So it's not going to be the same Isidore that came and, you know, not embarrassed Jack Robinson, but he sort of gave him a real torrid time. So hopefully it levels out a little bit. It's going to be Jack Robinson, isn't it? So whether we want that or not, I think we've got to accept it and we've got to back him, which we will anyway. There's nobody saying, "Oh, well, that's it. I'm not, you know, throwing my ticket away or my shirt away." If
get ready when team sheet comes out at 2 o'clock on Saturday.
I
They'll all be spouting it, chat. Don't you worry about that.
The thing that worries me with him is it's when he has ball at his feet. And then, you know, someone's pressuring him. It's like, oh, I don't know what to do here. I don't know what to do. I'll try and go back to the keeper, and then he loses it.
It's when he's got time to think about it. Yeah. As a natural defender, which I think is why he played not so well for us, but it was the best of a bad bunch in the Premier League because we were just under constant pressure. If he don't have to think about it and he just has to get a foot in or he has to slide or block or anything like that, he's more than willing, because he's very brave, to chuck himself in front of or times it well and things like that. If he's on the ball and he has to think about it, he panics and he goes back. That's why he goes back the majority of the time and things like that. But again, you know,
like I say, he's the best of somebody that shipped 104 goals.
Yeah, exactly, mate. It's not something.
The only problem with Jack Robinson is that milk turns quicker than he does.
Do you know what it is? What's the difference between a good defender and a mediocre defender? It's understanding that they're going to make a mistake. It's about being able to come back and counter that mistake. Hence why amount of times I've seen Oldham when he's played, he's slipped or something, but he's been managed to get back up and get himself back into position. If you look at Anello or Robbo, whatever time they make a mistake, the first instinct is to grab hold of the man. That's the difference.
I agree to a degree, Rick, and I'm playing devil's advocate a little bit now, but would you not also argue that despite being under a lot of pressure this season from the crowd and certainly vocal minorities, Jack Robinson, certainly in these last 2 games, has come roaring back, to be fair.
Yeah,
so it works both ways, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's credit given when credit due. When he played with Holding, he looked solid, and over these last 2 games against Bristol, he looked solid. I won't take that away from him. But like I said, that's the difference between a really good defender and being a mediocre defender. It's about taking mistakes and getting yourself back into position to cover your mistakes. Do you know what I mean? I think Canel, he don't do it, and Robbo done. Like I said, the first instinct is to grab hold of the player.
Okay.
The thing with Nell as well is, you notice that he always gets behind his man, and then he's letting them win ball, and he's trying to pull them down all the time, which frustrates the life out of me because he's guaranteed to give a free kick all the time. Instead of going and winning ball first before it drops, he's like staying behind his man, and then he's shielding him off, and then he pulls him down. And you know for a fact referee's going to give a foul, so he has his flaws as well.
Apologies to everybody that's joined us in the chat as well, because obviously there's a lot of voices that I wanted to have time to be heard, but we're just going to get some of your comments now. Ian says, quiet week. Good luck in coming up with something interesting to talk about. No, mate, I know there's plenty to go on in there. You'll be seeing plenty of me this week. Matt says, evening Ramblers, how do we feel about the ref for Saturday then? We have covered that, haven't we? From what I've seen on the internet, I think Sunderland have won already. It's crazy. I know this is what David was saying. The famous Jord Motson, says Maury, who's a big fan. Big fan. Can he get a selfie with you, Jord, at weekend? Is that all right?
Anytime, mate. Anytime. I'll tell you what, I'll do a big quiff like that. Does that work, Maury?
No, Jord, it'll never be as good as Maury's, to be fair. It'll never be as good. Jamie Dumpling says, thought it was at 8. Oh, is that why you were all running about and I could see your backside while we were about to bring you on and stuff like that? While you were bent over a chair and trying to mess about and doing all sorts of
looking for a battery. You make it sound like I was like getting it out for camera or something.
Steady on.
I don't know what your two'll be getting up to behind camera.
Right. For Jamie.
You never ever get Jordan's song right. Thanks, Matt. Thanks for pointing that out. You're right, though. Blades Legend, says Maury. Alan Cork, he's got nowhere and we don't care. Alan Cork, legend. Maury, just put spam in the chat. Thank you, mate. Ian says 3-0, Brewster 2, and I'm sure there's no bias in there to say Ian's Brewster's #1 fan, and City Peck. Can you imagine?
No.
Can we just have a minute about City Peck? Because can you imagine if this boy gets the winner? And I know it's a lot to
expect. If he gets that, has anyone ever seen Mike Bassett, England manager?
Yes.
Mate. When England play quarterfinals and Tonko takes all his clothes off, goes stop. naked and does a slide.
Like Jamie before
If
string.
Xbox winner, I expect him to do that.
You're coming across as very dodgy, Jim. I'll be honest. You're coming off worse.
We're only getting these dumplings out.
We don't get dumplings. We don't.
Consenting adults.
Joe says buzzing for it now. Might turn into nerves Saturday morning. Ramble coach down, box park, and seat behind the goal. Can't beat it.
Yeah, Joe sat near me.
The Sink says, who cares what people say? Jamie, do your thing. Finally, someone who feels like me. Their pace scares me, says Matt, with Robinson playing. I know we've just touched on that as well. Liam says, evening, lads. Miss you all, just crying at work that I can't join. It's our time. We're going to do this, lads. Believe. Up all the Rambles. Please like and subscribe. Well, everybody here is definitely liked and subscribed, Liam, but no problem, mate. Thank you. We'll have you back on soon, mate. Don't worry. Ray says, love the confidence. We can do it. We'll play to our strengths and we will win. Come on, Blades, we can do it. Up the Blades, up all the Rambles. Like and subscribe. Gaz says, so sorry, Jim, work phone has just gone. No worries, Gaz. I think what we'll do is we'll officially let you go, pal. Jamie, like Jamie said on Football 11, the ref for this game is card happy. It just scares me shirt grabbing. And Nell and Robbo, keep your hands to yourselves. I think that's fair to say. Tom Not From says, I would be a lot more confident if we'd beaten Sunderland earlier in the season at the Lane. It's just a niggling thing. No, I'm all right. I'm all right. We're a different beast then, to be honest. Either myself or Mount. Yeah, we beat them at Lane, didn't we? And lost at Stadium of Light.
Yeah.
I think Tom's just
Tom Davis.
confused.
Tom Davis scored, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Good goal.
Tom Davis did score. Tom Davis definitely scored because everybody had him up on his shoulders, didn't they? We won Tom at the Late. There we go. Ray just corrected him all the way around. There we go. Martin says, evening all. I'm that confident of a win. I'm offering an all-inclusive week in Lorette de Mar. You're offering it? To who, Matt? To who? Interesting. I
might take it.
Too. Okay, fair enough. Susan says, if I remember, we played 7 games more than Wolves and literally ran out of steam. There was something like that because of the 2 cup runs. That's right, Susan. So we got to the semi-final in both cups, Jamie. And then we got to the playoff final as well, and we won note that season. But many remember it as the best season they've ever experienced as a Blade because it was absolutely incredible.
One of the best teams.
Oh, it was.
Seaman made that save.
Michael Brown.
That was literally like every game where we were behind, you just never thought we were going to lose.
Yeah.
And we're free scoring as well, then.
Yeah, we were. We were. It has happened, Jamie, honest. We have been a free scoring team that were great to watch. Matt says...
Great watching 18-19. I'm not that young.
You started watching in 18-19, did you say?
No, 16-17. But we were great to watch in that season.
Yeah, we were great to watch, to be fair. We were. They went to play golf before the playoff. Oh, yes. Yeah, we've got that story. Yes, thank you, Matt. Maury laughing at the milk turn quicker from Dave. Lee says, Jackie Lanthrow will definitely start. He struggles on the ball, puts players under pressure with bad passes, especially Burrows. Holding is an all-round better defender and has better distribution. Tell us what you really think, Lee. Jackie Lanthrow's recent games have been good, but not amazing. Better, but not great. Got to be honest, not looking forward to Saturday, but also cannot wait for Saturday. I fancy us, but it's going to be tight. See you in Box Park. Yeah, I think that a few more of us will come more to that way of thinking in terms of, at the moment, it's excitement, and then the nerves will start to creep in. Jord, how are you feeling, mate? I know you've been sort of facilitating for us tonight, but how are you feeling about the game?
I've been fine. But
that sounds like my missus when I ask her if she's all right.
I've been fine, and as it's getting closer, I'm starting to like watching Palace on Saturday. I'm thinking that could be us. You know, them celebrations at the end were absolutely like ridiculously good, and I'm just thinking, what if that's us? Like, how good's it going to be? And then I'm getting nervous because I'm thinking about it too much. So, yeah, I think come Saturday morning, once we're on that coach, you'll probably see my face just turn sour because I've been nervous all day.
It's a year for underdogs. This you've seen Palace win their first trophy in 100 odd years, and I don't even think. To be fair, if we win this, I don't think this would go towards like the 100-year drought. I think it's got to be like a major trophy or something.
Do you think we're underdogs?
I'm going to ask that.
Well, technically, yeah, because we've not won it at Wembley ever, and we've never won the playoffs.
But we finished higher in league.
And this is where the narrative can change, isn't it? Because So I think we were talking about on 3MB last night, where Dave doesn't like the fact that we're going into the game as favourites. So you talk about it being underdogs. That will be the Sunderland spin on it, Jamie. That will be, it's the year for the underdogs. They'll be looking, like we've looked at Palace this week, and we looked at Newcastle winning cup, and we're saying finally it's going to be Sheffield United's time. It's got to be. It's written. They might be saying, well, yeah, Sheffield United were a lot better than us in league, but we've got a chance against this big bad Sheffield United to upset the odds here, like Palace did. But that's their spin on the same story, isn't it? So it's not just our story to write, obviously, but it's.
But don't you think Chris will be having them, telling them we're not the favourites, it's just paper talk, you've got to go out there and do it.
Absolutely right.
There's
That's
no one
exactly.
better, is there? There's no one better to have in that dressing room when you're going to the playoff final than Chris Wilder. It's as simple as that.
Only playoff campaign. I think we've been probably favourites in every one that we've been in. But we're probably that Burnley one. I don't think we were favourites in any others. Huddersfield finished miles in front of us. I think they finished third that year.
Yeah,
they were in top two for ages. We scraped in playoffs. I think we were sixth, something
Crystal
like
Palace.
that, or fifth. Yeah, Palace. We probably weren't favourites. Wolves. People forget about that Wolves team, and we were very, very good. They had a good side that season.
That
if you
Kevin
go through
Doyle.
their team, Kenny Miller,
Julian Lescott,
Lee Naylor, Matt Murray, Julian
Kennedy.
Lescott, Mark Kennedy, some good players. Colin Cameron at that level at the time. Nathan Blake played for him. They had some good players at that level. Paul Ince played for him in that game. You know what I mean? Dennis Irwin, I think, played for him at that time. They had some good players.
That's memory. That's a good memory, that pal.
Yeah, you don't forget getting walloped at Cardiff, do you?
I'll admit,
I was still positive at 2-0 down.
It just that thing about that game is that you just knew it weren't our day when Brown missed that penalty. Because if we'd have scored that, who would have knows what would have happened? But yeah, that hurt that one.
Well, like you said, Mark, even though we were down, we always backed to Sens that season to come back, didn't we? Just because of the season they'd taken us on.
That were it, weren't it?
Incredible.
That were it. When we beat so many, I think we beat 3 or 4 Prem teams in them cup runs. We beat Leeds in FA Cup. They were in Premier League. Palace.
The mighty Leeds. Jesus, that's a huge achievement.
We beat them in both competitions, didn't we, that year? Worthington Cup and FA Cup.
Well, that were the Jags, weren't it? Jags free.
Yes. Yeah.
Actually, I'll let you into a secret. I think I've told you, Jim, before that if you actually can find it on YouTube, that Triple Assault season DVD thing. At the end of that game, you see me run onto the pitch about 7-year-old in like a cream coat, and I just go like that, swing my fist like that, just in front of the Jags. I ran on the pitch and enjoyed myself because Jags.
There you go. If anyone from clubs watching this on Behind the Ramble, stadium lifetime ban or permanent watch-alongs on the channel. That's what we like to see.
I wouldn't have said this on watch-along. So, in fact, when you said this might go on Behind the Ramble, if people want it. No, I'm against it straight away. So please don't.
Don't be starting swearing and stuff like that now, just so I can't play it. Right, so lads, now that obviously we're coming up to about an hour or so. So, what's your predictions? This is last time we're all going to be together on screen. I want to know your predictions, and let's start with Brett. What are you saying, pal?
2-0. Us.
2-0 United. Okay.
Brewster last minute.
This is very clippable, by the way, and I think we're all obviously going to have to say the same thing. I know.
I want to change my mind now.
A similar thing, aren't we? So I could be teeing us up for a bit of a fall here, but Ricardo, just Ricky from Just United. What are you saying, pal?
I'm going to go for a 4-0, mate.
4-0.
Yeah.
4-0 Ricky.
How do you mean
4-0 win?
What are you drinking, Rick?
Why not? Why not?
Do you know what? Do you know what he's doing? He's trying to get some traction for Just United here. Did you hear that, guy?
It's a private show. Oh, am I getting traction up?
We're going to put it on Behind Ramble, Rick. Who is this guy that said 4-0? Let's Google him.
Right,
Let's Google him.
Right.
4-0.
Why not? Why not?
Because it's Sunderland.
Yeah. We got battered 2-0 by Oxford. We got battered 3-0 by Coventry.
We lost
Oxford
Oxford.
1-0.
We lost at Plymouth.
Well, 2-1.
Everybody can have a bad day, can't they? But 4-0 is.
Mate,
I mean,
why not?
Fair play to you, mate. this is what we're about. It's putting your honest opinions
But
down. And
honestly, think about it, why not? Why can't it happen?
it can happen, but 4-0 Sunderland can also happen.
It can, but I'm backing us, mate. I think, right, it's going to be edgy for the first 15 minutes, and as soon as that first goal comes in, I think they're going to panic, right? You look at Sunderland, how many inexperienced players have they got? None of them stepped up to this big stage ever. First time in Wembley. Massive step up.
I thought that, and I think Enzo Lafay and it's either Mundell or Mayenda have played in Champions League, and there's a few others that have had previous experience. Sirkin's played at Wembley. O'Neill, Dan Neil, I think, has played at Wembley. A couple of them have got more experience than we give them credit for. Don't mean they're all going to be able to do it. Like I think we are in really good shape for a positive result, but I think 4-0 is a huge shout. Fair play to him. I obviously hope you're right.
I'm not sitting the match. I'll be too drunk.
Listen, like I said, as soon as that first goal goes in, I think they just crumble, and I think we just pile it on. I think we're going to be ruthless.
The only thing if we go 1-0 up, I don't want to see us sitting back and just
no.
We won't.
Easy said though, Jordan. Easy said because it's there's so much on the line. That's not the tactic that we'll try and play, but sometimes when nerves come into it, you just drift back and back and back, don't you? Yeah. Jamie, what do you think, pal?
So 2-2 into 90 minutes, then it'll be then it'll be a goal each. So it takes 3-3 going into penalties, and I think we win it on penalties.
We've gone from sublime to ridiculous. We've gone from a 4-0 rout, which we'd all love, to I'm going to come out with no hair, now my grey hair, after 3-3 in a penalty.
I think I'll have been carried away on a stretcher if that happens, because my nerves will not be able to take that. No,
I could genuinely see it being goal for us, goal for them, goal for us, goal for them, and then you go back and forth, and then it's penalties.
Sonny representing Glasby Palace.
Do you want me to bring it back to realism now?
Yes, please, mate.
2-1. I think it'll be 2-1. I think it'll be a close game. I think it'll be like Bristol City, like first leg, where it's a bit uneasy. And I think we'll come into stride a bit, get 2, and I think they'll get 1. And I think Burrows will get a goal as well, because he's been absolutely fantastic.
Do we go behind then, Son, do you think?
No, I think we'll go 2 up front, 2-0 up top. What am I saying? On about 2 in front, 2 in front.
And they make it nervous last few by getting 1 back.
Yeah, I feel like that.
That seems pretty Sheffield United to me, to be honest. Dave, what are you thinking, pal?
Thinking I wish I weren't here.
Sorry about that.
Nah, I can't. I'm going 2-0.
2-0.
2-0.
Okay. Confidence. I like that. It's not as confident as Ricky, but it's confident. Geordie boy?
2-1 after extra time.
After extra time, you're killing me, mate. You're killing me.
I think it'll be 1-1. I think we're a bit better team, but I just think nerves will get better of both teams, and then I just think we'll do it. We're a bit better team extra time, and we'll score and see it out.
And now for the final call: is it going to be the positive Meldrew, or is it going to be the Mark that we all know and love? What are we thinking, mate?
Nobody's actually said it yet. I think we'll win 1-0.
1-0.
That's a bit dull.
Hey,
we'll take it.
It can be.
We'll lose 3-0 then, Jamie.
It can be as dull as dishwater, Jamie. I'm taking it, pal. I'm taking it all day long. Oh my word!
I don't care how bad we play. I could not care less. I couldn't care if we have 20% at ball. If we put that ball in that net and they don't score, and we win 1-0, I do not care one jot.
Well, we've been joined. And I can see him now. I can see in full figure. Gazza's joined us.
Sorry. I really, really do apologise.
Don't be sorry, mate. Listen,
I had a
some may say that work and other commitments are actually more important than coming on a stream and talking about Sheffield United. I don't believe them personally, but some will say that. So, mate, what have you got for Wembley? What do you reckon Sunderland is going to end up score-wise?
Is anyone else, and you've probably gone through this, is anyone else just scared of putting a prediction out there?
Because,
it's hard, isn't it? It's like we've all been to Wembley.
Sorry, Jamie's just asking if that's Liam. We can only see the quiff at the minute, but I'm sure we will see the rest of it in a minute. Is it? Maury, just a sec. We're just asking Gaz for his prediction, and then we'll come to you, pal. Go on, Gaz.
So, you know what it's like. We've all been to Wembley. We've all been to semi-finals, finals, and we're like, every time. I remember 2003. I was like, we're gonna do this. It's gonna be gleaming. Be fine.
Yeah.
Dramas. That went to Rat. I won't swear.
Yeah. Thanks, mate. Thanks.
And I've been to Hull. I thought we had a good chance against Hull that time. So we actually scored at Wembley for the first time of me ever going to Wembley. So I was happy there.
Brilliant.
But no, I have got more confidence with this game. I really have. I think somebody said it earlier. I can't remember who it was. Sorry. My head's a bit in a spin. But we're the form team here. You look at them in the semi-finals and you look at us in the semi-finals. We deserved ours. I think they got lucky, to be blatantly honest. They got very lucky. I'm scared to say it, but I'm going 2-0 Blades.
Don't be scared, mate. I love that. I love that. And thank you for jumping back on. I appreciate it. Look who's joined us. Just finished doing his hair. Just as we're closing, he's coming for the big finale. It's Maury. Can't hear you, mate. Can't hear you. You muted yourself.
Oh, no.
So at least we can see you, Maury.
Still muted.
Someone said that's the best position.
Yeah, some would, yeah.
Thank God.
Keep tapping.
Yay.
We can hear you, mate. What are you saying then? What are you saying for final?
Just give me 2 seconds. Sorry, it's just.
You're all right. We've got you, mate. We can hear you.
Oh, good. I think it's because I've had my headphones in, that's all.
Fair dues. You know, I don't want to listen to Jamie either, but what are you saying for final? It's a joke, Jamie. It's a joke. It's a joke. What are you saying for final, Maury?
I think it's going to be 2-1 Blades.
Yeah. How do you think it's going to come about, though? Because Sonny's gone with 2-1, but he thinks we go 2-0 up, and then in typical Blades fashion, we have to sweat it out because they get one back and sort of make us sweat for a little bit.
I'd say the same. I say City Peg's going to score, hopefully.
You say that every week on Ramble on Road, though.
I don't care. I'm going to say it again.
Just keep saying it till it happens, Maury. Just manifest.
And then you can say, I told you so.
Yeah, that's right.
I should have said to him the other day when I had a picture with him, I should have said to him, like, you're going to score.
Name drop.
Sorry, I did.
Yeah, well, you see, if you were like Sonny, then you'd be asking City Peck to take a picture of you with Man Mountain. That's the way it goes. That is the ultimate flex. I love it. Right, so Maury's done 2-1. Let's see.
Jimmy, I've got someone else who wants to do a prediction.
Oh, is it the star of Just United?
He is. Let me get him headphones on.
Get in.
Go on then.
Hey up, Marcus.
Hi.
Hiya, mate. How you doing?
Good.
Good to see you, pal. Good to see you. Well done in keeping that channel going, despite whatever your dad's doing with it. But you are keeping it running, mate. I love it. I love it, pal. Keep going, mate. You do a really good job with that. What are you saying for Sheffield United against Sunderland? You will be there. You will be witnessing it. Are you going to be laughing or crying? Come final whistle. What's the score going to be?
3-0 Blades.
Oh!
He's been listening to his dad, hasn't he?
I think your dad was ridiculously optimistic going 4-0. I think he's way over the top, but I think you're bang on with your prediction, Marcus. So you asked. I'll take that all day long. Thank you for joining us, mate. Don't give him his headphones back. You'll finish it off. That's fine. Right. So let's look at what people are saying. Maury, you have spammed this chat. Thank you, mate. I appreciate it and all that. But
it's all right. I tried to get in for ages, but it says you're full.
Would it you that we're trying to get it? Yeah, because we're at capacity, mate.
Yeah.
Good to see you. Right. I'm just trying to catch up with, because we're finishing off now, but Lee's comments were the last one I read out, I think. Statman Jack says, evening, gents. It's Saturday yet. Also noticed that Ballard is actually 6'2", Moore's 6'5", so got an advantage over him in the box with Moore, potentially. Susan, we're talking about that pesky Salido Seaman save. Unbelievable, that, weren't it? Absolute best save I've ever seen. Not only live, but probably best save I've ever seen.
Bang behind that goal. I was celebrating about.
I know. We were all up, weren't we? We were all up.
I was in line with that day.
Get promoted on Saturday and break the curse. Who on the panel might shed a tear? It sticks his hand in air. I'm not sure I will. I'm not sure I will. but I'm not against it if I do. Let's be honest.
Oh, I'll be a mess.
Lee says he's not on the panel, but he definitely will. Maury naming some Wolves legends in the chat: Mark Kennedy, Lee Naylor, and Matt Murray. Matt Murray, good goalkeeper. Good goalkeeper.
Yeah.
David Vinter says, sorry, lads, don't know what happened there. Maury kicked you out, Dave, I think, from what
I know, sorry.
See you at Box Park. Jord, hopefully you weren't running on the pitch from the cop. Jamie will be after you. You shouldn't be there as a 7-year-old. That's very true. Very true. Lee says 2-1 Blades, Campbell and Burrows. Jack says, that's what you just made me do, Jamie. Yep, spewing up because of the 2-2, then 3-3 after extra time, and a Blades penalties win. No, Jamie, please, says Matt. Lee says, yes, Sonny, great minds. 1-0, says Joe. Gus from the edge of the box into the bottom corner. I can see that happening. I can see that as part of Mark's prediction, maybe.
He's done that already at Wembley as well.
Yeah, Gus Amer being the difference. And
He went off injured, didn't he, to that? He went off injured in that game as well.
Kov, yeah, he did. That was last time he played for him, wasn't it, I think?
Yeah.
Dave finishes us off by saying, we have such a different side now. Our bench for the 2 league games against Sunderland was so weak. Our depth will get us over the line on Saturday up the Blades. I hope you're right, pal. I hope you're right. We're in really good shape going into this game. And I want to say thank you to everybody that's joined us tonight. We've had a bit of a revolving panel with Maury coming on late and David dropping out, and then David coming back, and then other David dropping out. Marcus be upgrading from Ricky. Love that as well. So thank you to all you lads.
I was just going to say, Jim, before we finish.
Yes, mate.
Anyone else got any questions before we finish that they want to throw in?
What, sorry?
Has anyone else got any questions that they want to
any other topics you want to say before we get off?
Has everyone spoke about
Diaz?
Go on, Brett.
So would anyone you like to see Diaz come off that bench?
Yes. I'd like to see him come off bench, definitely.
Yeah.
I think that's part of our strength in depth, isn't it? We've got players like Brereton Diaz that can come off the bench who at this level, they're not going to
start the season would have had subs like that.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
Him and Callum Ware coming on, you'd be like, yes, please. And Tom Cannon as well. I know he hasn't pulled up any trees for United, but if you'd have said at start of season, we'd have had them 3 coming off the bench in a playoff final, you'd be very confident, wouldn't you? So,
Just thinking about that, we were fighting against Sunderland, weren't we, for Cannon? Imagine if he scores winner.
Or winning penalty, according to Jamie.
Yeah.
don't let Kiefer Moore or Bruce take him for me.
Oh, Jamie, come on. It's not
don't worry.
Go on, Gaz. What were you going to say, pal? I think you and Maury wanted to say a little bit of something before we went.
Yeah, I was only going to mention if you spoke about ticket situation and things like that. And
no, mate.
So just one on the ticket situation, just so you're aware, it's very much that I rung up this morning, got on first thing, and I didn't get the seats. I panic buyed in the end because I nearly lost my place in the queue and everything. I panic buyed and got it in the second tier. And then I rung them up this morning, and within 2 minutes after 9 o'clock, they changed my tickets. I'm in the block 205 now.
Right.
So if people do want to change the tickets, because EFL haven't done them, they're willing to release them at the moment.
That's really good to know. Right, thank you, mate. That's good. So you might, even if you've had to separate from your family and stuff, you might.
They've done the tickets. It's been a bit poor, to be honest with you.
Really I think they've known it's coming, haven't they? That's the only thing. I try and give people and cut them slack where I can, but it's been coming down pipe for a long time. So it has been a little bit panicky anti at times. I think we've had it better than Sunderland, who had a clerical error at their end and released it to the general public rather than season ticket holders, and then had to refund everything and all that sort of rubbish. So we haven't had it that bad, but yeah, it could have been better. And I think the FAB are well on with that for organising and making sure it doesn't happen again. So fingers crossed. Maury, what were you going to... Yeah, I think you've got the finishing topic, mate, to see us off tonight.
Pressure's off. Who else thinks Tom Cannon's going to score on Saturday?
Would you think City Peck, Tom Cannon? Who else do you normally go for? Kiefer Moore might score.
It's in the name. It's in the name.
Yeah, Kiefer Moore.
It's my second name, you know.
Yeah.
That's why I always said Kiefer Moore's going to score.
Kiefer Moore to score. Do you think Cannon's going to score then, Maury, on Saturday?
I think he is. He likes to go against Sunderland, doesn't he?
Maury, do you think potentially Michael Cooper might score and all while you're at it?
Yeah.
Jamie coming in with the
why not all squad?
There, Jamie.
To be fair, Jamie, if you have your way, he's going to score winning penalties, Michael Cooper. So
honestly, I won't.
We don't want keepers taking him.
Yeah, we've had
Yeah, no chance.
It were nearer my house than that penalty.
Ran from halfway line.
Right, well, we'll call it there. I want to say thank you to everybody again in the chat for joining us. Mr. V just finishes off by saying 2-0 Blades, and I'll be crying like a baby. I want to say thank you to our regulars who are obviously on a fairly regular basis for some of them. Marcus, I want you back on next time alongside your dad. You can bring him as well if you want, but I definitely want you back on. Gaz, making your grand return. Great to see you back, pal. Long time no see. It's been too long. Hopefully we see a lot more of you next season.
Safe travels back home as well, Gaz.
Yes, safe travels. Absolutely.
Safe travels.
And thank you for what you do, pal. And then the new callers. So David Vinter, not forgetting him, who's dropped off the call. Sonny Glasby, who brings the looks of the panel up a couple of notches. I have to thank him for that. Maury, who's got the hair that we all envy. So thank you for that. Brett, who hasn't got the hair that we envy.
Oh. Thanks.
Thank you all, lads.
You top next up for it, Brett.
It's very much appreciated. And whoever wants to finish it can. But for now, come on, you red and white wizards.
Up the Blades.
Let's get Ahmed.